Hey everyone, welcome back to new series of Python. In today's video, we will be discussing about the conditional statements. In both real life and programming, decision making is very crucial and we often face situations where we need to make decisions or choices. And based on those choices, we determine our next actions. Similarly, in programming, we encounter scenarios where we must make decisions to control the flow of our code. So conditional statements in Python plays a very important role in determining the directions of the program executions. Among these, if-else statements are fundamentals providing a way to execute different blocks of codes based on specific conditions. And if-else statements offers two paths, that is allowing for different outcomes depending on the conditions evaluated. Now let's go with the Python if statement. The if statement is the most simple decision-making statement, and it is used to decide whether a certain statement or a block of statement will be executed or not. Here comes the syntax, that is, the condition after the evaluation will be either true or false. If the statements accept the boolean values, and if the value is true, then it will be execute the block of statement below it, otherwise not. Now here you can see the syntax, that is, we can provide the if condition, then the statements to execute if the condition is true, or else the Python uses the indentations to identify a block. So the block under the Python if statement will be identified as over here, and here we can just go with an example. Now let's say that I is a variable which accepts the values that accepts the integer values from the user. So you can just basically use the in constructor, and in order to accept the values from the user, you can use the input function and provide the statement, that is enter the number. Later on, you can provide the condition. That is, if to use the if condition, we have to basically use a round bracket. Along with that, we have to use the colon. And inside this round bracket, we can provide the condition. So the condition is I greater than 10. And you can provide the statement. So if it's true, you can see that I is greater. And if it's not, we can see that print I is smaller. And to get the result, you can run the file over here. And let me say that the value I'm going to give is just 1. And when you just compare 1 greater than 10, obviously we know that the condition is false, and this will be printing over there. That is, we will be getting the result as I is small. So let me again click on enter button so that we will get the result over here. So you can find that I is smaller. Now let's go with the Python if-else statement. So the if statements alone tell us that the condition is true and it will execute the block of statements, and if the condition is false, it won't. But what if we want to do something else with the if condition is false? We can actually use the else statements with the if statement Python to execute a block of code with the Python if condition is false. So here comes the syntax, that is if condition. If the condition is true, we can just execute the true block, else we can just execute the false block. Now here we can just go with an example. So let's find an example over here that you can just find a variable. Like, let me say that, or let me just copy the same statement as we are just getting the integer values from the user. You can just consider the same statement, and let's copy over here. And I'll be checking the condition. So if I greater than 15, then we can see that print I is greater. So if this condition is false, we have to just go with the else block. Else we can say that print I is smaller. Now you can just run the file, and here, let me first comment everything from here. And again, let's run the file. And yeah, now I'm going to provide the value over here, that is 75. We know 75 is greater than 15 and we will get the result as I is greater. Now you can just click on enter and you just got the result over here. Again, let's run this and let me set the value as 0. And again, click on enter and here you can see that 0 is less than 15 and I is smaller. So that's how we just deal with the if-else statement in Python. Now let's discuss about the Python nested if statement. So the nested if statement means if statement inside another if statement. So first we will be providing the first condition and that executes when the first condition is true. And we will provide the second if condition and that executes when the second condition is true. And we can just end the if condition over there likewise. So let's go with an example. Let's say that I is equal to 10. So I'll be setting like I is equal to 10 and we can provide the first condition, that is if I equal to 10, then later on we can provide the other if condition as we are just performing the nested if condition, that is I less than 15. So if I less than 15, we can just provide the statement that is I is smaller than 15. That is I is smaller than 15. Now we can just provide the other if condition, that is if I is less than, that is I less than 12, that is the other condition. And you can provide the print function over here, that is I is smaller than 12 to I is smaller than 12 to else what we have to do is I is greater than 50. We have to print I is greater than 50. Now let me just run this file and here you can see that in first case we just got the result as I is smaller than 15 and in the second case we just got the result as I is smaller than 12 too. So in this case we know that I is equal to 10. Okay, so here first condition is I equal to 10. In first case we are assigning the value 10 into a variable I. Okay, in second case when you just consider the condition, we can simply say that we are just having a comparison on the values in the left hand side and in the right hand side by using the assignment operator. So here we can say that 10 is equal to 10. So when you just compare 10 less than 15, here you can see that 10 is smaller. So you will get the statement like I is smaller, which is printed over here. Okay, now again we would compare this value 10 with 12. So when you just compare 10 with 12, here we can see that again I is less than 12. So this will print the statement as I is smaller than 12 too. Okay, because here the condition is like we are not satisfying with the condition as I is equal to 10. Now let's discuss about the Python elif. A user can decide among multiple options and if the statements are executed from the top down, as soon as one of the conditions controlling the if is true, the statement associated with that if is executed and the rest of the ladder is bypassed. So if none of the condition is true, then the final else statement will be executed. Now let's discuss this with an example. Let's say I is equal to 25. And we can say that we can just consider the condition, that is we can just use the if conditions, use a round bracket and provide the conditions, that is I equal to 10. And here you can provide this statement, that is print I is 10. So if you want to just go with the other condition, you can just use elif. So I'll be using the elif over here, and I just want to provide the other condition, that is I equal to 15 as the other condition. And let's click on print I is 15. Now again, we just go with the elif, that is to provide the condition. So again, we will use the elif and provide our condition, that is I equal to 20. And we can just provide the statement that I is 20. And we can also provide an else conditions for this. Else print I is not present. Okay, so here you can see that I is 25. So as you just go with the condition, 25 is actually not equal to 10 in the first condition. And in second condition, 25 is not 25 is not 15. So we won't get the statement that I is 15. Now we just go with the other condition, that is 25 is not 20. So again, we won't get that. And here we can say that we will get the result as I is not present. So as you just move on to here, you can see that I is equal to 25. So in this condition, in the provided condition, we don't have I as 25. So in that case, we will get the else block as the result. Now let me run the file, and here you can see that as 25 is not present over here, we will get the statement or the out as I is not present. Now let me change the I value as 10. So here you can see that 10 is present. So I equal to 10, that is 10 is equal to 10. So we can say that we will get the result as I is present, that is I is 10. So here now you can find that we have just got the result over here. Now let's discuss about the ternary statement, that is a shorthand if-else statements. So whenever there is only a single statement that to be executed inside the if block, then the shorthand if can be used. So the statement can be put on the same line as if statement. Here comes the syntax, that is if condition, then the statement. Now let's define this with an example. Let's say that I is equal to 10, and here we can just provide the if condition and statement. If I less than 15, and along with this line itself, we would provide our statement. Use the print function and provide the statement. So that is I is less than 15. Now you can just run the file. So here you can see that I is less than 15, which means that when you just go with this condition, you can see that 10 is I. So I is actually less than 15. So that we will get the statement that I is less than 15. Now this shorthand can be also used for if-else statements. So this is used to write the if-else statements in a single line where only one statement is needed in both if and else block. Now here comes the syntax, that is statement when true, if condition, else statement when false. Now let's define this with an example, that is I is equal to 10. Now we can just say that as per the syntax we know, we would provide the statement when true, if condition, else statement when false. So I'm giving I is equal to 10, and we just need to print the statement if true. So we can just use the print function to get the statement A if it's true, if the condition is true. And we can use the condition that is if I less than 15, else print false. Okay, so in this case, we know I is equal to 10. And here you can see the condition is I less than 15. Right. So as you just check this condition, we know 10 is less than 15. Right, which is true. So you will get the result as true over here. So this section or this statement will be printing over here. And if the condition is false, then that will give the result as false over here, which means the else block will be printing over there. Now let's run the file, and here you can see that 10 is actually less than 15, and we have just got the result over here. Now let me change it as 25, and you can see 25 is not actually less than 15, and you will get the result as false over there. So that's how we just deal with the Python conditional statements, and that's all for today. Thank you for watching the video.